I could not stop slipping in these golf shoes, and that was a big problem for me, and it might be a big problem for you as well. So I've spoken to a golf swing expert to find out exactly what was going on with these shoes and why I couldn't stop slipping. So if you're thinking about buying a pair of the Nike Victory Lite G golf shoes for yourself, then you're definitely going to want to stick around and watch this video. For £70 in the UK and $70 in the US, you might think that these golf shoes are a bit of a bargain. When you add to the fact that at least 20% of this shoe has been made from recycled materials, and you've got yourself a really compelling sounding golf shoe. I was really keen to check them out for myself. However, if they don't give you the grip and traction that you actually need to play golf, then what's the point? I'm going to come on to how these shoes look and feel a little bit later on in the video, but given that I was so disappointed with the performance of these shoes out on the golf course, we've got to start there. Now, as you can see here, this is a spikeless design and quite unique actually in the fact that it's a foam outsole. So there's no hard plastics on this at all. Makes the shoe very, very flexible indeed. And I don't know if you can quite see that up close. Can actually just really kind of push in the outsole with your finger there. The foam on the outsole is made from a slightly different material, or if it's the same material, then it's got a slightly different pattern to it, as you can see here. But again, not enough that I think that's really going to make any difference to the amount of traction you're going to get out on the course. If you take a closer look at the outsole, then you can see it's got this wave design to it, and there's nothing really to stop you pushing out laterally from the shoe. You can see here that I was testing these shoes on a pretty dry day, to be honest. It hadn't rained for a few days. It was about 10:30 in the morning, so most of the dew had settled from the course. However, I was just really surprised at the lack of grip on these shoes. You can see just standing on the fairway, just kind of moving my feet around, I was sliding all over the place. And that meant that when it come to actually hitting my golf shots, then I was really struggling for grip. And several times I just straight out slipped. Hitting chip shots and things like that wasn't really a problem at all, but as soon as I really wanted to put my maximum amount of force into my golf shots, it was my right rear foot that was slipping away from me and causing me to hit the ball straight left, almost top it sometimes, just generally hit bad golf shots. Although I appreciate that as a mid-handicapper, I generally hit bad golf shots quite a lot of the time anyway, but definitely the shoes were having a negative impact on my golf. I wanted to understand in a little bit more detail why these shoes were causing me to slip so much. So I got in touch with Steve Furlonger. Now he's a specialist golf performance coach who really focuses on the way that golfers use the ground in their golf swing. Now he's got all sorts of awesome technology which actually shows you the way that you use force with the ground, the directions, the amount and all that kind of stuff, and the actual output it has on your golf swing. And what Steve is saying is because I generally tend to extend early on my golf swing, especially with the driver, my right foot really needs to have as much grip and traction as absolutely possible to ensure that I don't slip. And unfortunately, with these golf shoes right here, they're just not providing me with enough grip that allows my foot to stay planted and not slip in my golf swing. And that's exactly why you're seeing my right foot slip backwards in these shoes. Now, if you're the type of golfer that tends to extend early in their golf swing, or you know that you tend to thrust towards the ball, I'm aware that I just thrusted on camera, that feels a little bit weird, but there you go, we're gonna roll with it. If you're that type of golfer, then you're probably gonna have the exact same problems that I have with these shoes, and your right foot is gonna be slipping all over the place. Now, generally you might have other swing faults, so I know I've got plenty of other swing faults, but they might mean that these shoes slip in a slightly different way for you, just because you've got such little traction on the bottom of these shoes. So personally, I'm really struggling to recommend these shoes because the way that I swing just doesn't suit them at all. So while traction certainly isn't the focus of these golf shoes, you might still be interested in them because you might not have those same swing faults. You might not be worried about the amount of grip that these shoes are giving you. In which case, then certainly I'd say that they're quite a cool, relaxed style looking shoe. Personally, I really like the sustainable aspect of these shoes using 20% recycled materials, and mainly it looks like that's been used in the upper here. You can actually see if you take a close look at the different colours in the weave of this canvas material where it's being used from recycled materials. Now Nike do have the ability to use a recycled foam, but that's certainly not what is going on with these shoes here. These are very much a summer golf shoe. The upper doesn't really have any waterproof properties to it. You have got a film going around the outside of the shoe there at the top of the outsole foam to try and help stop some of that early morning dew getting into your shoes. However, certainly I've not even done the waterproof test because these are just going to absolutely soak right through. So if you're out in heavy rain, don't wear these shoes. You're going to get wet feet. In terms of the fit, I found that they did fit true to size for me. However, it is quite a shallow toe box. So if you have got wider feet or you do want a little bit more room in the toes, then if you're in the US, they have a wide fit version. If you're in the UK, I'd certainly recommend going up half a size. For me personally, it didn't bother me too much going true to size, but it was definitely noticeable that I could kind of feel the top of the canvas on the top of my toes. But in terms of length, they were absolutely fine. There's not the greatest amount of padding in these shoes as well. It's comfortable enough, but again, they're not gonna be the most comfortable golf shoes you're ever gonna wear. But I did wear these straight out of the box for 18 holes and didn't have a problem with blisters or anything like that. They were perfectly comfortable. The foam is okay, again, in terms of comfort. They're not the most comfortable shoes, certainly not the softest feeling golf shoes that I've ever tried, but they were comfortable enough. One thing to note with these, they are incredibly lightweight. So again, if that's something that you're looking for, then pretty much these are one of the lightest pair of golf shoes that I've ever tried on. They do come with quite thick laces on the top there, which kind of go with this canvas upper style. And actually, I didn't mind the look at them. You can certainly wear these on and off the course, and no one's really gonna bat much of an eyelid either way. If you are looking for some casual footwear to use on and off the course, then these might be something that you wanna consider. However, I've got to stress, in terms of the actual grip and traction that you're gonna get from these shoes, it's below average. It's pretty poor in my opinion. So to be honest, I can't really recommend these as a pair of golf shoes because personally, I want my golf shoes to give me as much grip as possible. I don't want to be slipping out on the course. I don't want that to be costing me shots. And certainly, I don't want the risk of injury because I'm slipping in my footwear. If you are still thinking about buying a pair of Spikeless golf shoes and you're not sure which ones to get, then why not check out my video here where I've given my top 5 Spikeless golf shoes that you can currently buy out in the market today. And do the pelvic thrust that really drives you insane. Anyway,